another. That is strong again. This is, again, very rural. I mean, there's not really anywhere. Nobody's not really, like, again, this warning that's ongoing here. There's really not any towns here. There are some homes, more than likely than not, in this part of, I don't know what county this is, but it's southeast of San Angelo. So this county here, near 1223, that's Farm to Market Road, 1223, west of Live Oak, for reference. But that is very strong rotation. More likely than not, we're about to have a tornado here, or there could already be one on the ground here. Near, again, Farm to Market Road, 1223. That is a very strong couplet on the latest radar scan. Connor just saw it. Listening to their audio. He just saw it. I mean, that blew up fast. I mean, the last scan looked like it was kind of dying again, or at least trying to cycle. But now it's strong once again. Again, just west of Live Oak, Texas. Southeast of San Angelo. Yeah, next radar scan will probably be in about 2 minutes, maybe a minute and a half, but that's right in the hook echo. This definitely could produce a tornado at any time. There's your hook right there. Do have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Vancourt Wall, just southeast of San Angelo, back through Eden. That is for 2-inch sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds. And there's also a TP on that, which is tornado possible. So that means that there is still a possibility for a tornado on this northern storm. But really, the most concerning thing is right now is this storm here that's south of Vancourt and Wall and east of Cristoval that is more than likely about to drop something. Or it might already be on the ground as we're speaking here. How far is Connor from this? Connor, I believe, is on the very far eastern side of this warning. So, he's quite far. From at least where the area of rotation is. But he might be getting close. He might go for it. I don't know. Alright, here's the latest scan. So this will be your area of rotation that we're looking at. And there is now a debris signature, it looks like, on radar. So, yeah, I believe we have a tornado on the ground here. Yeah. This is a tornado on the ground. CC drop on radar.
This is an urgent alert. A tornado is on the ground. Seek shelter immediately.
So yet again, another CC drop, which means, again, debris being lifted up into the atmosphere. We do have a tornado in this hook. Again, near Farm to Market Road, 1223. It is southeast of San Angelo. It's west of Eden, Texas, west of Live Oak. It's, again, very rural area. There's about 113 people in this particular warning. It's not very populated. Now, with that said, obviously, if you're in the warning, seek shelter. But I'm just saying, not a super populated area. It's southeast of San Angelo. The storm itself right now is moving in a southeast direction, which means Menard will be in the track of this long term. But another tornado on the ground here, moving down to the southeast. So again, if you're in this warning, continue to stay in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible. We'll have another radar scan in about a minute. That's where the tornado would be. Anyway, look at this. This is Connor Cross perspective on that storm that is currently warned. Massive rain shaft there. Pretty impressive looking storm.
You guys see that the flipped truck that Reed?
No, we didn't. We heard about it.
Yeah, well, that's what that's.
Yeah, this tornado's on the ground.
Where we backed out of there.
We had it in reverse.
Clearly on the ground on the debris signature there.
In there, dude.
We saw it for a short second when it was like multi-vortex, then it got right.
Yep, we saw them.
Again, this is right now where the tornado is. It is east of Cristoval, Texas, west of Live Oak. If you are in this warning, again, continue to stay in your safe place, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. That's a basement, a storm shelter, a closet, or a bathroom. We will have another radar scan in a moment, and we'll see what it looks like then. But this is definitely, at least as of a minute ago or two, on the ground, and it could still be on the ground. There's your debris signature. So it's still on the ground. It's picking up maybe trees or even a few buildings in the area. Get the velocity show here in a second. Storm is moving southeast right now. These storms have changed directions. I mean, when we have a tornado on the ground, they've changed directions often. But yeah, that's a... This is obviously on the ground, but that is a very strong area of rotation. Go to the winds here. 102 versus 44. That's pretty strong when it comes to the gate-to-gate. Yeah, this is a hook echo and everything. I mean, it doesn't look as impressive as the first tornado, but it's still there. I mean, that's a pretty strong couplet that we have on, ongoing here. Definitely a tornado on the ground. They'll be going towards Menard, Texas. That's really the next town in the track of this. So, still relatively far away from there, but that would be the next area that's in the track of this storm. We'll go back to this in a second. This is what Connor, again, is looking at. There's a bunch of CG strikes. This is a distant view of that storm.
Dude, look at the wind coming.
There's a bunch of cloud-to-ground lightning with this storm, and
I mean, I felt like we were fine. I just
from a
knew it was
distance,
like the
looks
north
pretty
end,
impressive as a
like
supercell.
just the inflow just screaming into it, you know?
Yeah.
You just don't want like a sub.
I have no clue what they're talking about for the record, but
Look how
that's what they're looking at
it's
right now.
gonna
That's
Like we just have a
apparently a hill here in
be.
Texas.
But nothing we can do about it, Jack.
Again, they're at the bottom right of your screen, but yeah, again, this is a tornado that is in progress. Once again, that is going to be approaching the 4-county line here, southeast of San Angelo. Here's a more zoomed out look so you know where we're at least a little bit better of a view of where we're at. So that tornado again is moving southeast right now over the next few minutes. PDS would only be issued if there's a strong and or large tornado. That's usually the criteria, which I wouldn't be surprised that happened here. It is very rural, for the record. Again, there's not very many people in this area. It's like 113 people, not including all the storm chasers probably that are near this storm, but we also have a couple of circulations down here by the looks of it. They're not very strong circulations, but they are there. All right, here's the latest radar scan. And I'm not seeing any sort of CC drop here anymore. Well, let's see what the velocities look like. Again, there's not very many things here that are probably being picked up, so we might not have a CC drop, but... Here's the latest scan. So it might be trying to recycle here. It kind of happened with that Robert Lee tornado earlier, so this could be a very similar instance of recycling. Again, that's near Farm Market Road, 1223. Yeah, I'm not seeing a CC drop anymore. Again, it could be recycling, but still a very definitive supercell. Again, it reminds me a lot of what we just had. I mean, the rotation's still very tight, so we probably have something. That would be where the tornado is. So that's your tornado that we're looking at right now. Again, a CC drop doesn't mean that we don't have a tornado, for the record. But no, with that said, it is still a tornado, and that'll be moving. This is now a PDS tornado. We have a large and strong tornado on the ground with this.
This is an emergency alert. A large and strong tornado is on the ground. Seek shelter immediately.
All right, so this has gone PDS. Again, this is only issued when we have strong and or large tornadoes, so this is now a particularly dangerous situation that has now been issued on the storm that is, again, impacting about 100 people or so. It's, again, southeast of San Angelo, northwest of Menard, Texas. This is a large and strong tornado, and or large and or strong tornado that's on the ground here. Moving southeast, it'll be eventually going towards Menard. If you are in this tornado warning, you need to seek shelter immediately away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. I am retweeting an image of that tornado on our Twitter page at MaxVelocityWX. But this is yet again another large and strong tornado that's on the ground. Very strong couplet on radar, and then also on reflectivity. Notice we got a large hail core here, but this is your hook echo right here. So that is where the tornado would be located. It would be right in the hook here. And again, that's moving southeast. So again, if you're in this tornado warning, you've got to seek shelter immediately. That's a bathroom, a closet, a basement, or a storm shelter, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. This is yet again another strong and large tornado in Texas. I mean, we've had no breaks with these. It's been unbelievable. We've had one, it seems like, every single hour or two when we're live. We'll have a velocities update here in a second. But that's a large field of winds going away from the radar. Very strong, by the way. All those, orange colors, those are 80+ mile/hour winds going away from the radar. There is a chance this is trying to recycle, but that right there is your tornado. So that would still be your confirmed tornado right there. We don't have any sort of debris signature, but again, you don't need one for a tornado in this case. But that right there would be your tornado. That is still on the ground. Has not really weakened yet, but there's a chance this could recycle and maybe become larger down the road. But that's your tornado. Let me zoom out a little bit here. That right there is, again, your tornado on the ground. Again, this is a large and strong tornado. It is an extremely dangerous situation if you are just to the west and northwest of Menard, Texas. It's west of Live Oak, Texas, southeast of San Angelo, and east-northeast of El Dorado. But this is definitely still a tornado. That rotation is quite strong still. It hasn't really weakened. That's the area where we have a tornado here. Once again, if you're just tuning in, this is a PDS tornado southeast of San Angelo. That is a particularly dangerous situation. What that means is that we have a large and strong tornado on the ground. It is northwest of Menard, Texas, southeast of San Angelo. That's, again, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado that is in progress here. It includes a population of 84, so luckily, again, it's not a whole lot of people, but unfortunately, those 84 people's lives could be changed because of this large tornado that's on the ground. So, if you know any friends or family between those 4 areas that I just mentioned, San Angelo, Eden, or El Dorado, or Menard, make sure that they're in their safe place in this pink polygon. That right there, again, would be your tornado that's moving southeast as we speak. So, again, very dangerous storm here. Is once again producing a large and strong tornado right now. Yeah, let's say PDS tornado. I don't know why it says radar indicated. I don't know. Connor's off to Menard. All right, so Connor's going to try to get in position for this large and strong tornado. I don't think you're going to be able to see this either. I mean, you might have been able to see it at the beginning. We had photos of the tornado at the very beginning of it, but the problem is right now it's becoming rain-wrapped, just like the one that we had back up in Robert Lee, Texas. This is, again, a cone-shaped tornado, so it's definitely a pretty impactful tornado right now. This is the latest scan. It may be occluding, but again, I do think we're probably going to see some sort of redevelopment here as this moves down to the southeast. I don't think that's the only tornado we're going to see here. I think that this is very reminiscent of what we just saw in Robert Lee a few hours ago, where, that storm, it initially produced a tornado. It kind of died out pretty quickly, and then we had another large tornado develop. I think that's what we're going to see here, pending these storm mergers, because these storm mergers could play a factor here. That's really the key here. These storm mergers that we have happening right now, that's a tough situation here. It's going to be tougher, I think, for this storm to really be intense with these storm mergers. It'll take a little bit of time to probably recycle. So, but the latest radar scan does show that area of where the tornado is on the ground is much smaller. It's not nearly as tight and confined. That's the tornado. If it's still on the ground, it's pretty small now. But what we're going to have to watch for is this to recycle. And the winds are very strong going away from the radar, so I do think there's a solid chance that that could happen where we do get another tornado here. So, but once again, if you are in this tornado warning, continue to stay in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building and away from windows as this continues to move southeast. Again, very low populated area. Luckily, it's northwest of Menard, Texas, and again, east of El Dorado. Drunk Tornado Part 4? Yeah, pretty much. This isn't really drunk, though. We haven't seen any sort of big wobbles with it yet. Been kind of going in the same direction for the last few minutes, moving southeast. Okay, guys, we don't need the Weast meme, please. I don't know. I don't even know where I got that from. I didn't mean to say that. What in the world's going on here? Got like 8 lightning strikes in the same spot. That's actually kind of crazy. Now, here's the latest scan. We'll get that in a second. Velocities will update in a moment. So we'll see how strong this area of rotation is, if it is still strong. Find out here in a moment. Yeah, this is definitely recycling. Again, we got an area that's, again, broadened out again, but that is definitely something that could recycle here and produce another large or strong tornado as it moves southeast. It is still PDS for the time being, so definitely still an impactful storm. So obviously, again, if you're in this warning, stay in your safe place away from windows, lowest floor possible. Once again, that is just northwest of Menard, Texas. Now, since it's broad, and I don't think it's on the ground at this exact time, but again, it could drop again. I'm going to quickly go peep so I can, not have to do that if we have another tornado. I'll be back in like 60 seconds. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
Sudden,
I think
it just
that's
goes,
what's gonna happen.
turns into like a monster tornado, but just don't even know.
Here we go, chat. About to get wild, I think. And even if it doesn't, the storm intercept will be wild. What's the word for hail?
Just 2-inch.
Oh,
Yeah, just 2-inch hail. Nothing that we couldn't handle.
light work.
I was impressed that we didn't get into any there's a couple times where I was like, oh my gosh, those stones are big, but
Yeah.
it never turned into anything more than that.
Well, all the stones that were big, I feel like they somehow missed the car.
I know.
Because I saw a couple baseballs rolling by. Never hit the windshield.
Yeah, I see a big little base over there, but
Welcome to Menards.
All right, let's go back to radar again. All right, so once again, if you're just tuning in, we do have a PDS tornado southeast of San Angelo, northwest of Menard. Again, this is not, at least as of this past radar scan, isn't on the ground, but it could drop again. It was fairly strong there for a few minutes. It kind of occluded, but we could see another redevelopment here. It will be eventually going towards Menard and Route 190 east of El Dorado, Texas. Again, this is southeast of San Antonio and also west of Menard. If you are in this tornado warning, continue to stay in your safe place, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. Once again, this is a particularly dangerous situation. What that means is that there is a large and or strong tornado that is on the ground, which again, as of now, has lifted, but it could drop again at any time. So again, if you're in the pink polygon, continue to stay in your safe place, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. San Angelo, yeah, you're fine. Again, this is well to your southeast. You might get a few more storms, but that tornado threat should be pretty low. But again, this storm is basically, there's multiple storm mergers happening here, so I do think that tornado risk it's definitely there. It's just, again, we have to see something recycle here. And that would be this right here, that area of rotation, which is definitely still there. It's just, again, it's going to have to recycle through these storm mergers somehow, which storm mergers, again, do help, but produce tornadoes, but... Where's Connor? Connor, I think, is near Menard. So he's kind of waiting out that intercept, basically. He's, again, near Menard, so he will be... I don't know where he's going to exactly go, but he might go towards, 190 or something and then try to intercept it from there. That would be my guess.